EA Sports FC is here and you guys should be looking at foottrading.co.uk. We guarantee you will make millions and millions of coins. We've got people selling the coins they're making for massive, massive profit. We've also got a tournaments area launching. If you fancy yourself as a competitive FIFA player, you'll have the chance to win prizes every single month in our competitive tournaments. We'll be seeding you guys, all that stuff to make sure it is fair for each of you guys to play. And if you sub to the season pass, which will save you about 4 months, if you sub between now and the end of the month, one of you guys will win a copy of EA Sports FC. Chances are you might already have that, so we'll just give you the cash you spent back. It is that simple. Check out Foot Trading, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. Make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. Click the like button and comment. I will always comment back to every single comment that you guys leave. I try my hardest to answer every question. As usual, I'm live again tonight on Twitch. If you want to come over and get involved, I'll show you guys everything you need to know about trading like I did yesterday. It's an awesome place to be, an awesome community. And talking about that, check out Foot Trading. Today is the last day to subscribe to the season pass if you want to win a copy of EA Sports FC, or as most of you already bought it, we'll just give you the cash instead. Really, really, really simple. But the market is on, as I record this anyway, the market is on its backside. So exactly what we thought would happen yesterday happened. The market got absolutely hammered at 6 PM, but it got hammered beyond what anybody thought it was going to get hammered. And this has led to a lot of people panicking. Now, if you followed what I said to do in the videos and you followed the market down, you would have done brilliantly well. A lot of our Discord subs have done incredibly because they took the time to come into the stream, to watch it on the website and just keep letting it come down, and it got so low last night. So really the only way is up. So I'm going to tell you about how you trade today in this market and what you guys need to be wary of, what you need to think about, and show you what the general trend has been overnight into now. But you guys need to remember, at this point now, you guys are watching this at 5:15 PM. You're going to have an idea of what the market did last night with all the supply we got from the promo packs for Road to Knockouts. The market dipped off. You're now going to know whether the market recovered or not. And I can show you what's happened now, really, really simply. Because if I show you a couple of cards, if I show you Darwin Núñez, we talked about these guys, these evolution cards. Darwin Núñez last night got down to 10,000 coins at his lowest point. That was when they bottomed out at 10 PM. Almost every card bottomed out around 10 PM. What happened after then was he started to gradually rise. So all this supply happened. EA brought out those mad 275k packs. All this supply happened, and now they've started to rise again. Because as we said before, there's tons of supply and less demand. No one's doing anything. Once that ends and the demand sort of calms down, not demand, the supply calms down, then demand starts to outweigh the supply. And only some people will be opening packs today. The main time to open packs is 6 PM. Look at Marcus Llorente. Again, if we check his hourlies, down, bottomed out about 10, 11 o'clock there, if you see, give or take, and then slowly rebounded. Now this morning he's gone down a tiny bit again, but it looks like he's starting to rebound and starting to jump back up again. Now for me, my Marcus Llorentes, I bought a set of them. I bought some at 24 earlier because I thought that might be the lowest he got to, and I was happy at 24 anyway. And then he went down further, so I bought a load at 20. So I've offset that completely. So the 20s will be profit as it stands right now. The 24s would be a slight loss as it stands right now, but I'm going to hold on to them. I'm in no rush. Hugo Lloris, this is one that my brother bought into, and he paid 3.2k for him. And if we look at his hourlies, again, the bottom out for him was at 10 o'clock. He got those 2,000 coins before really bouncing back. My brother at 10 PM was like, well, hang on, these 2,000 coins now. I'm going to go and try and buy a few of those, because what that will now enable me to do is cover off any loss that I make. These are all profit. These ones might be a small loss maker, but they're not, because they're on their way up. So how do you guys make coins with all of this? Well, you now know that at 6 PM, everything came down in price, right? So if you see today that everything's rebounded, it probably gives you a little bit of room to think about buying into some of these cards. If the rebound is big, so let's say theoretically you bought some Núñez's, okay? And last night you were smart, you got down to 10k. Even if you bought him at the 11k point here at 7 PM, he got down that far, and by the time this video goes live, it's at 14, 15k. You know there's a really good rebound there. So tonight, if he does similar, you can buy in again. Now, you want to make sure you buy in at the bottom. You've got to make sure you wait till the bottom. And the way to know the bottom is to let him get low and then just see if he starts getting bought up again on the market. And if he does, that generally tends to mean the bottom has passed and he's on the way up, okay? It's vitally important you understand that. So that's someone like Darwin Núñez. Now, if we look at someone like Diaby, I bought literally one of him. I spread my bets across so many different players yesterday. Diaby's at 50k. If we look at Diaby's hourlies, Again, the bottom out for him was about, give or take, 9, 10 o'clock, if you look at it then. And then he rose up, and this morning took a little dip when everyone woke up and started getting on the game, and he's slowly starting to rebound again. Someone like a Diaby, again, there's so much demand around this card that he's a relatively safe bet. The only thing that's going to affect his price badly is another ton of supply. Now at 6 p.m. today, we might get loads and loads of promo packs again, but not everyone's going to be able to open them. A lot of people would have opened theirs last night. Now remember as well, yesterday we had everybody getting onto the game. We had promo packs for Road to Knockouts. We had tons of packs being open with a huge amount more people that were now able to get onto the game. Okay, the hype around it dies down slightly tonight. Now, in my opinion, the market is up from here. I can't see a reason for it to drop any further. Again, remember, anything I say or any trader says is relative speculation, but we're all pretty much in agreement that the bottom out last night was about 10 o'clock and everything should slowly start to rise from here. Everything should be on the way up. So what does that mean for you guys when it comes to all of your buys? It probably means that you're relatively safe in what you're buying. If you're on the website and you're a tier 2 subscriber, you've got fluctuations. As I've shown you before, right? Let me just get it up. As I've shown you before, on our fluctuations chart, we track everything. Absolutely everything is tracked for you guys. So that you can see exactly what the cards have done as their averages and whatnot. And it really, really covers you off. So if you're looking at these cards here, and we're looking at Araujo, for example, you can see what he's done for the last 24 hours. You can see that at high, he was 79. His average is 77. We know that currently right now, he's about 70, but his low point's really 74. So this 70, we all know is going to be an anomaly. It's going to be someone listed lower. But as you look at these cards, you'll be able to see what they've done overnight, what they did in the last 24 hours. It will help inform your buys. So for example, Dan last night went in on icons because he saw how far they went down at 6 p.m. and was like, hang on, they're safe because icons are rarer than gold cards. I'm going to buy into a few of them, and he's done brilliantly well from it. So he's looking at icons going, actually, let me think about what I've done. Someone like Sador, for example, you guys can see it here. If we go, his high point was 175. His average is 169. His low point was 160. You can go and check it out and have a little look and see, like, well, can I wait for an undercut on this? You're going to have everything you need there for you. Absolutely everything you need there for you. But for those that don't have the site, all you've got to have is maybe 5 or 6 players in mind, and they're the guys you're going to follow down. And as I've said to you always, if you want to know what cards are good to invest in, just think about the players that you want in your team. Now, I'm not talking about Haaland and Mbappe because you guys aren't going to have those coins. What I'm thinking about is those relatively attainable cards. So the likes of Frimpong, people obviously know that this card is in demand because it's one of the only usable right backs from the Bundesliga. So when we look at these cards and we look at how they've done and whatnot, we can see where they've dropped out, where they've climbed, where they've dropped or whatever. You know that he's relatively safe because he's pretty much the only right back you can use if you're running a Bundesliga squad. There are a couple there, and Babu as well, but most people are going to want to use Frimpong. So now today, for example, if you look at his price and you go, right, it got down to 15 last night, and let's say by 6 p.m. he's sitting at 18, 19. If he then gets hit at 6 p.m. because of the packs being opened up, you can follow his price down again. And then you know that he probably will bounce back a little bit. But you have to understand one thing about any time you come to trading, especially with gold cards, the market trend is gradually down as time goes on. So if you think about it this way, Frimpong got down to 15 last night. Let's say he bounces back to 19 today. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. He may bounce back further. What then can happen is he drops to 14 with supply, climbs back to 17. And this is how you start to work out how you trade with the fluctuations on the market. Bit by bit by bit, you'll start to learn that actually they drop slightly further each day sometimes. So that means I can sell them, buy them, and then my sell price may be slightly adjusted for the next day to maybe expect a little less. They're not always going to bounce back to the highs that are at. But realistically, what should happen now at this point is most of the buys you're making, so long as you're buying at the bottom, should be very, very, very good. There shouldn't be any risk. One other thing to think about are these Team of the Week 1 cards, okay? So Dybala, for example, got down to 93, and we said that over the next sort of 24 hours, they bottom out and get low. And again, Dybala kept coming down. He's raised a little bit of points, but ignore that little rise there. Remember, we're looking for the average trend, okay? The average trend for him is pretty much there at flat line, which is where we can see he's at 93,000 coins. You're only interested in their sort of average price unless, I spelled Lamptey wrong, unless you can see that they've started to really shoot up. And if they start to really shoot up, you're in a good place. Lamptey, he's actually up. He's actually up a fair amount. So if you look at Friday, he bottomed out at 65 at 7 p.m, which was realistically a slight anomaly for everybody. But we talked about him and we said the demand for him is high. He is a Premier League left back, one of the most usable in the Premier League. And if you think Walker's 130 odd K, or was 130k, again, Lamptey was going to be relatively safe. And you can see he's gone up. And then once you start to realise what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you take on board the advice you're being given, I promise you now it gets easier and easier. Again, Walker, down as low as 108. What happened to Walker? Exactly what everyone said would happen to Walker. He was a safe bet because he's the best right back on the game pretty much. We all know that. We all knew he was going to be that. And again, a little drop this morning. Again, a bit of an anomaly because what's happened? He's bounced straight back again. So there are cards you can work with. You've just got to know what their lows were and what their potential highs were. It's really that simple. It doesn't take much. And I think some of you guys panic a little bit when cards drop in price. I saw someone did comment and said, oh, I bought loads of fatties and they dropped 3k on the video. And I said, yep, because you obviously didn't listen to what I said about waiting for the market to bottom out on the Friday. I made it quite so clear. And if you followed that, you've done really, really well. You've just got to make sure you wait for the market to bottom out. It is always better to make less profit than to make a loss. I've said this a million times before. That is how you trade in this market crash. It is very, very nice to trade in if you're smart with what you're doing. I would just, like I say, be a little bit careful about when the market bottoms out, but it's so easy to know because it will flatline and then cars will start being bought up, okay? If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.